Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our third episode of Positive Vibes. This is Hip Hop Saves Lives Youth Good News Show, where youth read stories, learn new vocabulary, put the stories into their own words, and share the stories with you. We have Braelyn and Noah returning again. Braelyn is going to share first about a dog named Cecil that ate $4,000. But the story turns out good, believe it or not. And Noah is going to share with you about a cafe in Japan that is helping society and a culture understand that people need wheelchairs and people need canes, and not to feel embarrassed about needing help as you get into your old age. Super excited for this episode. Thank you for watching in advance. Here's Braelyn, and after that, Noah. Positive Vibes. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Braelyn Offer. I'm bringing you good news about a dog that ate $4,000 in cash off the counter. A dog named Cecil ate $4,000 in cash. The owners had a horrible time and an uncomfortable way to get their money back. The dog ate your homework. Came true, but really it was $4,000 in cash. This weird and silly event happened on December 14th, 2023 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Clayton and Carrie Law had taken cash out to do a home improvement project building a new fence, and left an envelope of money on the countertop when their dog Cecil thought he smelled food and went to the kitchen and got on the counter. He saw the money and thought it was food. The bank said it actually happens quite a bit because money just picks up so many cents, especially if it's used in the food industry, she says. I guess dogs just have such a good sense of smell, and something about it just drove him crazy. Clayton told us that he was walking around the house doing stuff and walked in to see Cecil standing over a pile of mutilated cash. Clayton Law laughed when he told the story. The couple said their 7-year-old dog never got on the counter before and is usually on the couch snuggling like a couch potato. It was pretty shocking. It's just never been interest to him, Carrie Law says, of her 100-pound doodle. Clayton Law says, they were in shock. It was so unusual that it just didn't seem real. The, the gagging of their pet about to vomit woke the Laws up in the middle of the night. They jumped out of bed to just make sure Cecil was okay. But he was not doing well. So I went to pick up the vomit, and I realized there's a lot of half-eaten $150 bills here. That night was day one of unhappiness for the Laws, who had the unfortunate task of sifting through their dog's bodily waste. They pieced together as many bills as they could. They had to have more than 50% of each bill to get their money back, and their banks would swap them out. In the end, the two were able to recoup $3,550, they say. We hit this point of diminishing returns, Clayton Law says. We just kind of called it quits after 2 or 3 days. The laws The laws also shared Cecil's story to social media where it went viral. We're just happy the story's making people laugh. Kiri Law says, I think a lot of people can relate to the story because we've all had a pet or a kid that has done something silly like this in one way or another, and you just can't be mad at them. You just have to love them anyway. As a dog owner, I can relate to the story because one of my dogs had gone halfway down the hill and some deer went to the bathroom back there, and my dog had rode in the deer poop.
Braelyn, thank you for sharing that beautiful, funny, but happy story as it ended in a good note. Now we're off to Noah. Again, we're going all the way to Tokyo, Japan to learn about a cafe that doesn't just sell you some tea and a biscuit, but maybe can sell you an electric wheelchair. Let's check in with Noah.
Hello, my name is Noah, and I'm going to be talking about a cafe in Japan that lets elderly people try out welfare devices. Mobility is a huge problem for most elderly people in Japan who need certain devices, such as wheelchairs, to get around. Most elderly people in Japan often feel embarrassed using things such as canes and wheelchairs to get around. But it's not just elderly people. Convertibles are extremely rare in Japan because Japanese people don't want to show their faces while driving, and would rather not be conspicuous. But it's not just the social constructs in Japan that prohibit elderly people from using mobility devices. There's also an economic factor. Lack of insurance and prohibitive costs, along with the fact the Japanese government does not provide subsidization for mobility devices, also plays into why mobility is such an issue for elderly people. There's also the fact that most welfare equipment manufacturers keep their attention on indoor products such as beds due to, quote, outside dangers. Enter two people whose names I'll probably absolutely butcher, Yoshio Nakano and Mayumi Nakano, who made the Mobile Karen Oka or Ocha Cafe, I'm about to say. During the time as ophthalmologists, their elderly patients would slowly stop coming to their importance due to their bodies becoming rigid, before eventually just completely stopping altogether. It was never said why or how they made the leap to owning a cafe, but this inspired them to do so. In the cafe, along with selling baked goods such as steamed or fried dumplings and chiffon cakes, they provide things such as wheelchairs and canes for their elderly customers to at least try out before committing to such a big purchase. In the future, the couple hopes that their idea will spread across Japan and bring awareness about the problem with mobility. Kano said that, quote, I would be happy if our store could help in some ways. Humans perform their best when they have a stable community and a good social life, which is why this stuff is such a big problem. Yoshio and Mayumi believe it's best to get out there and do stuff while you still can. In fact, that's almost exactly how Makana put it. He said, quote, I think it's better for the elderly to go out and live socially with young people as long as possible. In conclusion, it's obvious that the couple are pushing for a great cause, and although so far the cafe is one of a kind, popular news hub J Stories, which is where a lot of the information from here is coming from, due to not many other sources being available, published a story about the cafe that will hopefully help popularize the style of cafe.
Braelyn and Noah, thank you. Thank you for these beautiful stories, sharing positive vibes. Great things are happening all over the world. Let's pay attention to good news. Let's be good news. Thank you again for watching Positive Vibes. We'll see you for episode 4 coming up. Peace and love. And you already know, hip hop stays live.